The jury is set to start deliberating the fate of Umar Zameer, the man accused of first-degree murder and the death of Toronto police officer Jeffrey Northrup. This was in 2021.
And for a closer look at this, we want to bring in criminal defense lawyer Kim Schofield now. Thanks so much for joining us. In closing arguments last night, the Crown asked the jury to consider the lesser offense of manslaughter. What do you make of that position? Is this because prosecutors are realizing that's their best shot?
Well, I think that they realize that they have some problems. So in order for the jury to find first-degree murder, they must find it's not a planning and deliberation situation because the officer, by the nature of the fact that the officer is an officer, but they would have to find beyond a reasonable doubt that the accused knew that he was a police officer. So in other words, in this case, that the officer identified himself or others identified themselves as police officers, and they must be satisfied that they knew he was or that he knew that they were police officers. And there's really a lot of contradictory evidence on that point here.
So today the judge is instructing the jury. Walk us through next steps.
Okay, so the judge instructs the jury. So the judge will tell the jury that he is, or she, in this case, Justice Malloy, is the judge of the law. So she gives them the law. And the jurors are the judge of the facts. So they apply the facts to the law. And and she'll also advise them about the various verdicts and probably give them a verdict sheet. So a sheet of all the possible verdicts: guilty, not guilty, lesser included offenses, and the elements of those offenses. So it will be and usually is, but I think especially in a case like this, a complex charge to the jury. So in other words, we have 3 years of law school compressed into an hour to 2 hour address or charge to the jury by the judge. It is a very difficult task for jurors.
A lot of lawyers are saying that, Kim. And then, of course, all eyes will be on jury deliberations, which will begin soon. Do you see jurors reaching a quick verdict here?
Well, as complex as the law is in this case, the question really is this: why on earth would this man, Mr. Zameer, why would he intentionally run over a police officer? Why would he commit a homicide, a culpable homicide? And because the defense points to the fact that he was there doing nothing wrong. He had his pregnant wife and his child in the car. It was a celebration that he was that he had just attended. So all of these point to the fact that there's no intention to kill. So then it comes to whether a manslaughter is made out. So whether this activity is a marked departure, whether there's recklessness, carelessness, or whether it is a tragic accident.
And the defense, on the other hand, is urging jurors to acquit Umar Zameer, saying that the tragedy is not the same thing as injustice. So how difficult is it for the jury to try and decide between a full acquittal and manslaughter?
Well, I think in this case, a series of events happened, and the series of events which are very different between what the police officers say and, in fact, what the forensics say, both the forensics on part of the Crown and on part of the defense. It seems quite clear that the officer was hit and grazed by the car, which caused him to fall down, and then once when on the ground, that's when he was run over. And that seems to be contrary to the accounts of the police officers. And as defense counsel has said, the account of the police officers, we know from the experts, it doesn't seem to be what has happened, but they're all consistently inaccurate, which means that at least on part of the defense, they're going to say that the police officers have basically all gotten together and got their story straight. So that, of course, does not assist the Crown at all.
Okay, criminal defense lawyer Kim Schofield, we know you're watching this one really closely, and hopefully we can check back in with you once the jury does reach a verdict. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Kim.
Yes, please do. Have a good day.